là cháu chắc với cả Thủy Tiên là có vấn đề gì xảy ra không?
Ông nói thế là có ý gì à? Thế các cháu nó gặp vấn đề gì hả ông? Thế chắc là hai đứa xảy ra chuyện gì rồi. Thế ông mấy ngày hôm nay ông đi đâu mà để cho Tử Tiên mới dắt đi tìm ông suốt đấy?
Thôi em bình tĩnh.
Thế chắc có chuyện gì xảy ra với con bé rồi, tôi có linh tính mà.
The late afternoon sun casts long shadows over Tien's farm, the air thick with the earthy scent of hay and pig feed as her father, a stooped figure in a worn shirt, stands at the locked gate, his face lined with guilt. Tien! He calls, his voice cracking, the silence of the empty yard pressing against him, the faint cluck of chickens the only response. Where'd she go? Locked the house tight? He mutters, his tone anxious, pushing the gate open, the creak echoing his unease. I've been gone days, she must be worried, he sighs, his voice heavy, stepping toward the porch, the memory of her smile a sharp pang in his chest. Probably out harvesting, I'll clean up for her, he decides, his tone resolute, heading to the barn, the wooden door groaning as he enters. No pig feed left, he notes, his voice low, checking the empty bins, the faint rustle of straw underfoot. I'll chop bananas and cook some, he murmurs, grabbing a machete, his hands trembling as he works, the weight of his secret gnawing at him. Where is she this late, still not back? He wonders aloud, pausing to wipe sweat from his brow, the farm stillness unnerving. I have to tell her the truth. She doesn't deserve this lie, he confesses to himself, his voice breaking, the machete slipping as guilt overwhelms him. She trusts me so much, it's tearing me apart, he whispers, his eyes glistening, the simplicity of the farm a cruel contrast to his deception. I need to tell Jack's mom too, Jack's a good soul, he adds, his tone firm, his resolve hardening as he chops, the rhythm of fleeting distraction. Can't keep lying to them, he vows, his voice steady, the truth a burden he can no longer carry, the farm's quiet amplifying his resolve. Where are they? Can't even call, he mutters, pulling out his phone, the screen showing no signal, his frustration mounting as he paces. In Jack's rural home, his mother, a woman in a simple blouse, paces the wooden-floored living room, the carved chairs a silent witness to her growing dread. Where do you go all night, Jack? Why no word? She frets, her voice trembling, dialing his number, the phone pressed to her ear. The number you've reached is unavailable. Please leave a message, the automated voice drones, her heart sinking as she tries again. I've called since dawn, no answer from him or Tien, she says, her tone strained, sinking into a chair, her hands shaking. Are they together? Why can't I reach them? She wonders aloud, her voice desperate, the clocks tick a relentless reminder. The number's unreachable, both of them, she adds, her tone rising, her fingers gripping the phone tighter, the room's warmth failing to ease her fear. It's late, they're not back, and I can't get through, she murmurs, her voice cracking, the silence suffocating as she dials once more. The number you've reached is unavailable, it repeats, her frustration boiling over as she slams the phone down. I'll try Juan, maybe he knows, she decides, her tone resolute, her last hope flickering as she dials Jack's friend. Juan, it's me, has Jack been with you? She asks, her voice urgent, the line crackling with static. No, ma'am, he hasn't, Juan replies, his tone calm, the hum of his busy day in the background. He hasn't called you either? She presses, her voice tense, her fingers whitening around the phone. We talked a few days ago, but I've been busy, no word since, Juan explains, his tone apologetic, her hope dimming. I've been trying since yesterday, no answer, and he didn't tell me where he was, she says, her voice breaking, the weight of the unknown crushing her. I'll check with his friends, don't worry. I'll call back, Juan offers, his tone reassuring, her breath steadying slightly. Thanks, Juan, please hurry, she replies, her voice soft. Hanging up, the room's stillness pressing in. Juan doesn't know. Jack always tells me his plans, she murmurs, her voice heavy, dialing again, the automated message a cruel taunt. The number you've reached is unavailable, it drones, her heart sinking deeper as the door creaks open. Jack, you're back, his mother exclaims, her voice a mix of relief and worry, rushing to him as he steps in, a basket of orchids in hand, his shirt dusty from travel. Hey, Mom, I got these for you, Jack says, his tone warm, setting the basket down, the vibrant flowers a stark contrast to her anxiety. They're full of buds, thought you'd enjoy planting them, he adds, his voice casual, unaware of her distress. Where've you been? I've called non-stop. She scolds, her voice trembling, her relief giving way to frustration. I tried to tien too, no answer, she adds, her tone sharp, her hands on her hips, the room's tension palpable. Might have been out of signal, or my phone died, Jack suggests, his tone calm, pouring a glass of water, the cool liquid a brief distraction. I've been worried sick all night, and today too, she says, her voice softening, sinking into a chair, exhaustion catching up. You always tell me where you're going, this isn't like you, she adds, her tone pleading, her eyes searching his face. Probably just a dead zone, don't stress, he reassures, his voice steady, sipping the water, his calm infuriating her. I called tien too, no answer, she repeats, her voice rising, her worries spilling over as she paces. Let me try her, Jack offers, his tone focused, pulling out his phone, the screen dark, his brow furrowing. It's late. She should be back by now, his mother murmurs, her voice tense, the clocks tick a cruel reminder. I left for an errand yesterday, came back, and you were gone, she explains, her voice heavy, recounting the moment her panic began. I called you both, no answer. I got scared, she adds, her tone breaking, her hands trembling as she speaks. I checked your room. Thought you left your phone, but it was gone, she finishes, her voice a whisper, the fear raw in her eyes. Tien's father enters, his face pale, the weight of his confession etched in every line as he greets them, his voice shaky. Jack's not at the farm, I checked, he says, his tone urgent, the rural home's warmth doing little to ease the tension. Tien's gone too, since yesterday, he adds, his voice breaking, sinking into a chair, the carved wood creaking under his weight. I've been calling them, no answer, Jack's mother says, her tone desperate, the shared worry binding them. They might be together, but why no contact? She wonders aloud, her voice trembling, her hands clasped tightly. Maybe something's happened, the father says, his voice low, guilt clawing at him as he avoids their gaze. What do you mean something happened? Jack's mother asks, her tone sharp, her eyes narrowing, sensing his unease. Do you know something? Jack presses, his voice firm, stepping closer, the room's air thickening with suspicion. I need to confess, the father stammers, his voice barely audible, his hands shaking as he speaks. I'm not Tien's real father, he admits, his voice breaking, the words hanging heavy, a stunned silence following. What? You've been her dad all this time? Jack's mother exclaims, her voice rising, her shock palpable, her hands flying to her mouth. I was forced to pretend by some thugs, he explains, his tone anguished, his eyes glistening with shame. They took my real daughter, made me get close to Tien to gather info on Jack, he continues, his voice trembling, the confession spilling out. I met them yesterday, they gave me 3 days to get what they wanted, or I'd never see my girl again, he finishes, his voice a whisper, his head bowing under the weight of his betrayal. So something's happened to them, because of you. Jack's mother gasps, her voice cracking, her hands trembling with rage and fear. I didn't want to hurt them. I came to warn you, the father pleads, his tone desperate, his guilt raw and exposed. Why didn't you tell us sooner? Jack demands, his voice hard, his fists clenching, the room's tension electric. We need to call the police, Jack says, his voice firm, his mind racing as he processes the revelation, the stakes rising. Let's calm down first, we search for them, his mother counters, her tone resolute, her fear channeled into action, her hands steadying. We'll split up. I'll check the village, you take the farm road, Jack suggests, his voice steady, grabbing his keys, the urgency propelling them forward. Be careful, his mother warns, her voice soft, her worry etched in every word as they head out, the rural landscape stretching before them. Meanwhile, in a remote village, Jack and two tiens sit on a wooden bench outside a small shop, their faces weary, the morning's ordeal etched in their expressions, the hilly backdrop a reminder of their escape. Excuse me, which area is this? Jack asks a villager, his voice polite, the man's weathered face softening as he replies. This is back Trien, the villager answers, his tone kind, pointing toward the dirt path winding through the hills. How far to the main road? Tu Tien asks, her voice faint, her exhaustion evident, the villager's gaze sympathetic. Not too far down that way, he says, his tone encouraging, the promise of safety lifting their spirits. We made it, let's rest a bit, then head there, Jack says, his voice relieved, handing her a bottle of water, the cool liquid a balm after their night in the forest. Your mom must be worried sick, Tu Tien murmurs, her voice soft, sipping the water, her hands still trembling from the chase. Let's find a charger. I'll call her, Jack replies, his tone determined, approaching the villager again, his hope renewed. Do you have a charger for this phone? He asks, holding up his device, the villager shaking his head with a regretful smile. Sorry, we don't have that kind, the villager says, his tone apologetic, Jack's shoulders slumping slightly. We'll head to the main road. Someone there might help, Jack decides, his voice resolute, helping Tu Tien up, their steps slow but determined. At a roadside stall, Jack's mother and the father continue their search, the sun dipping lower, the village bustling with late afternoon activity, the tension between them palpable. Excuse me, have you seen Jack since yesterday? She asks the shopkeeper, her voice urgent, the woman's face thoughtful as she shakes her head. Not since a few days ago, he hasn't been here, the shopkeeper replies, her tone kind, Jack's mother's hope fading. He was here the day before, drove off in a car, alone, another villager chimes in, his voice helpful, her eyes lighting up with a flicker of hope. That's something, let's keep looking, she says, her tone determined, turning to the father, her gaze hard. We need to find them, now, she insists, her voice firm, the father nodding, his guilt driving him forward. I'll call my assistant. Get more help, the father says, his voice shaky, dialing with trembling hands, the line crackling to life. Hung, it's done, send 4 men to back Trien, and investigate this man, he instructs, his tone urgent, sending a photo, the assistant's response swift. Got it. I'll send them now, Hung replies, his tone efficient, the father's resolve strengthening. Let's keep moving, ask up ahead, Jack's mother says, her voice steady, leading the way, the village's dirt road stretching into the distance. At a nearby shop, Jack borrows a phone, his voice urgent as he dials, the connection a lifeline after their ordeal, the villager watching with quiet curiosity. "Mom, it's me," Jack says, his voice a mix of relief and exhaustion, the line crackling with static. "Jack? Where are you?" "I've been looking everywhere," his mother exclaims, her voice breaking, tears of relief welling up. "We're in back tryin'. I'll send the location, send Tien to pick us up," he replies, his tone steady, the shop's wooden walls a temporary haven. "You and Tien are okay?" she asks, her voice trembling, the worry pouring out. "We're fine, just get Tien here," Jack assures, his voice firm, hanging up, the promise of rescue drawing near. Jack and Tien sit on the bench, the villages hum a comforting backdrop, their hands clasped. The weight of the night lifting slightly, the hills behind them a reminder of their struggle. "Thanks for lending us the phone," Jack says to the villager, his tone grateful, handing it back, the man nodding with a smile. "You're welcome, stay safe," the villager replies, his tone kind, returning to his work, the shop's awning casting a cool shade. "Tien's on his way," Jack tells Tien, his voice soft, her head resting on his shoulder, exhaustion settling in. "I've put you through so much, and your mom too," Tien murmurs, her voice heavy with guilt, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Don't say that, none of this is your fault," Jack soothes, his tone firm, his arm tightening around her, their bond unshakable. "I just want those thugs caught," she whispers, her voice trembling, the memory of the chase haunting her. "We'll deal with them together," Jack promises, his tone resolute, the village's quiet offering a moment of peace as they wait. Back at the farm, the father paces, his confession replaying in his mind, the pigs grunting softly, the barn's shadows lengthening as dusk falls. "I hope they forgive me," he murmurs, his voice low, his hands clenching, the weight of his betrayal a constant ache. "I never meant to hurt her," he adds, his tone anguished, sinking onto a stool, the wooden frame creaking under him. "Those thugs, they'll pay," he vows, his voice hardening, his resolve strengthening as he waits for news. The farm silence a stark mirror to his turmoil. As night deepens, the sound of a motorbike echoes through the village, Tien arriving with a steady hand, his face a mix of relief and concern, the headlights cutting through the dark. "Jack, Tien, let's go," Tien calls, his voice firm, helping them onto the bike. The engines rumble a promise of safety. "Thanks for coming," Jack says, his tone grateful, settling behind Tien clinging to him, her exhaustion palpable. "Your mom's been frantic," Tien replies, his tone kind, revving the engine, the village fading behind them. At home, Jack's mother rushes to the door as the bike pulls up, her face lighting with relief, the porch light casting a warm glow. "You're safe," she cries, her voice breaking, pulling them into a tight hug, tears streaming down her face. "We made it, barely," Jack says, his voice weary, stepping inside, Tien leaning on him, her eyes red from the ordeal. "Your father told us everything," his mother says, her tone soft, guiding them to the sofa, the carved wood of familiar comfort. "He's not my real dad?" Tien asks, her voice trembling, the revelation hitting her anew, her hands shaking as she sits. "He was forced, thugs took his daughter," Jack's mother explains, her tone gentle, her hand on Tien's shoulder, the room's warmth a fragile shield. "Can we forgive him?" Tien whispers, her voice breaking, her eyes searching Jack's, the weight of the truth settling between them. "It's his choice to come clean, maybe we can," Jack replies, his tone thoughtful, his hand squeezing hers, the bond between them a quiet strength. Outside, the father watches from the shadows, his face etched with hope and fear, the farm's stillness a canvas for his redemption, the night holding the answer to their forgiveness.
Bệnh tật mãn tính hoặc đau đớn có thể khiến người ta cảm thấy cô đơn hoặc buồn tủi. Tâm lý trầm cảm, lo lắng hoặc các vấn đề về tâm lý khác dẫn đến các cảm giác buồn và lý tử điệp. Cảm giác buồn và cô đơn kéo dài, thiếu động lực để và hứng thú với các hoạt động thường ngày, cô lập bản thân với người khác và tránh các hoạt động của xã hội, giấc ngủ kém và mất ngủ, chế độ ăn uống kém hoặc thiếu dinh dưỡng. Cách đối phó thứ nhất là tìm sự hỗ trợ từ bạn bè, gia đình hoặc các chuyên gia tâm lý, tham gia hoạt động xã hội, kết nối với người khác, tập thể dục thể thao thường xuyên để cải thiện tâm trạng và sức khỏe, thực hành và ngồi thiền để giảm căng thẳng, cải thiện tâm trạng, viết nhật ký và để thể hiện sự suy nghĩ và cảm xúc của mình. Câu chuyện cuộc sống là một chủ đề rất rộng lớn và đa dạng, bao gồm nhiều khía cạnh khác nhau của cuộc sống con người. Dưới đây là một số ý tưởng về câu chuyện cuộc sống, câu chuyện về